Hip-hop has had its fair share of artists able to bless the booth as well as the big screen, not just running the Billboard charts, but pulling in fans normally outside of hip-hop's reach. But what happens when one decides to play a character off-screen, so determined they're paying to play?
I'm not saying, yeah, and I got crack in my pocket, because that wasn't my struggle necessarily.
All to become the streaming king with a crown made up of reference tracks.
Okay, 10 bands, 50 bands.
Operating like an artist ran through development code rather than human interaction.
Yo, late night, that's why the beats that you hear coming real tight.
We turned up in the studio late night, that's why the songs that you hear coming real tight.
This is the story of a man who built his empire like a tech startup company.
Okay. People also say that I got a BBL, right? They call me BBL Drizzy.
With the same social awkwardness.
I got a little frustrated at the end of the video because, you know, Nicki wouldn't kiss me on camera.
And music that copied emotion rather than produce it.
There's a lot of people that link up with other people and make records that you guys love.
Making trend farming the most profitable tactic in hip-hop.
Just to let the world know, I never got paid no 12 grand. For the record, I'm not signed to OVO.
I'm here, as you can see, fully intact. Mind, body, and soul, in case you were wondering.
Eventually losing all respect.
Drake just took probably the most embarrassing L I've ever witnessed on the internet.
From underestimating the culture he once manipulated so well.
I'm about to crack the Da Vinci Code.
And you're telling me that Kendrick dropped again?
George, is the radio working good, right?
There'll be a day when Drake is no longer interesting.
Yeah, Drake!
This is Drake, the Cap of Canada. The boy from Toronto had a tough job ahead, but his background would be favorable. Coming from a single-parent home of a Jewish woman with an absent father who was a mentionable musician, he would utilize that with a list of other tactics to make himself one of the best to ever do it.
Tell boys ain't golden gates, those who fake they break. When they meet their 400-pound weight, you gotta rule the world. Everyone.
But if he was going to do that, certain things must be in place. His background wasn't the ideal story you'd hear for a mainstream hip-hop artist, appearing more similar to Mark Zuckerberg rather than Sean Carter. He would leave a perfectly good job playing a disabled character on a TV show called Degrassi, which for him it was hardly satisfying having bigger dreams in mind of becoming the greatest rapper ever. He would begin his takeover constructing mixtapes which would land in the hands of Lil Weezy. Drake would secure himself a position with one of the most lit enterprises at the time, Young Money. With Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, along with a list of others.
I got a little frustrated at the end of the video because, you know, Nicki wouldn't kiss me on camera.
He would eventually establish his space on the Billboard chart, taking advantage of a space one of Kanye West's personalities created, taking his emo rap to the top of the charts.
Niggas got Drake twisted. A lot of niggas be playing pity-patting with Drake. I don't like that. Period. Drake is one of us, so if you're f***ing with Drake, you're f***ing with us.
Drake successfully built his own ecosystem, depicting different genres of music from different regions, with matching ghostwriters and accents. After joining the team, he was able to create his own, creating a team for protection and identity, creating his own empire, OVO Sounds, inviting such characters as Chubbs, 40, Baka Not Nice, to join him on this journey. And the shooter, top 5, that probably deserves his own cap story.
Shorty, cut it! No more ankle, nigga!
Cut it!
With regards to the ankle bracelet, Mr. Ali was well within his right to not be wearing that ankle bracelet. He wasn't on any conditions to wear it. So him having cut that off on social media was sort of part of, I guess, his information that he wanted to put out, part of his persona perhaps.
Before we go too far in this video, please do me one small favor and apply pressure to that subscribe button. While Drake was getting his brand together, there was one major hurdle he had to get past to be the best ever.
Exactly.
Can I do that?
You want to do that?
Can I do that?
Hold up. Turn this mic.
First, learning how to freestyle without a phone.
Young, I got you. Look, I say young money to the young boy dying out.
Also, there hasn't been one long-lasting career of any mainstream rap artist that didn't have the black urban community's validation. While this would be a tough feat to conquer, there was one option. Dennis Graham. Yes, the mostly absent father of Drake was an accomplished artist of his own. Ideally, Drake's mom probably doesn't have the best things to say about the guy, though reconciliation wouldn't be ideal for such a situation. This situation could be classified as unique. If you can be a father to me, it would validate my spot at the table while you can feast on as many groupies as you want. Deal. Besides, Dennis called cap on the whole absent father story anyway. Early on, he definitely had an odd way of describing his relationship with the culture he didn't really feel a part of.
I saw my dad get arrested by like a SWAT team at the border, you know, for trying to cross over. I've seen things that didn't make me happy. They were character building, and that's why I think people in the hood can still connect with what I'm saying, even though I'm not saying, yeah, and I got crack in my pocket, because that wasn't my struggle necessarily.
To add to it, Aubrey will begin to implement one of the most devious methods yet, trend farming, which is identifying where the next big trend may be and attempting to make it your own, mostly done through features. Almost none will be approved without some kind of cultural trade-off. Lit regional artists from down south would certainly make do, but newer artists as well, as long as they had a style or a song to give up. This would be the case for Atlanta's own McConan. When Drake jumped on Tuesday, the world thought he was blessing I Love McConan, but really he was buying the wave before it got too strong. McConan's weird melodic style had Atlanta's underground in a chokehold, and the remix turned him into an overnight celebrity. But once the hype cooled, McConan realized he wasn't signed to a label, he was signed to a system.
So look, the phones, they go off all day now.
So that's the Drake effect.
That's the Drake effect.
The same people who crowned him started ghosting him, shelving his music, and treating him like the intern who got too comfortable in the office. Next thing you know, he's somewhere out there flipping burgers.
They hungry and shit, you know, working, getting this money. You know what I'm saying? If you need me to come guest chef at your motherfucking spot, holla at me, let me know what city.
Falling victim to a popular scheme in tech called kill acquisition, buying the threat before it grows teeth. It's the same play Facebook ran when they brought Instagram, not to collaborate, but to control. Even though Instagram kept its name, the deal neutralized any threat to Facebook's dominance in mobile social media. The same strategy repeated with WhatsApp in 2014 for $19 billion. But a warning before this presented itself, when a young Kane discovered his long-lost Abel. The Weeknd was a mysterious kid with a haunting drug-laced sound. And when Drake's team posted his music on the OVO blog, the cosign felt like a coronation. Together they crafted True Love and The Ride, giving Take Care its dark heartbeat. But when it came time to sign, The Weeknd chose to build his own house, XO, instead of moving into Drake's. That's when the love turned into quiet competition. Years later, Abel admitted he gave up half his album for Take Care.
Now, essentially, when he spoke about Drake 2 years ago, he said, I gave Drake half of my album. So half of my album went to Drake, and Drake used that for his album. So essentially, I don't know if you want to call it ghostwriting, collaborating, but pretty much The Weeknd was a big part of Take Care.
A subtle reminder that Drake didn't just borrow his sound, he branded it. Aubrey would use this high level of cap to once again land on the Billboard chart, expanding his fan base by changing sounds. Where most rappers stayed loyal to a sound, Drake treated sounds like apps. He downloaded them all. Houston chopped and screwed, UK drill, even Spanish reggaeton. Each time a region bubbled, Drake deployed a version of himself there, bypassing authenticity.
The guys at our school, instead of addressing people like the group, like saying like, what are you guys doing? Say man's like you. It's really weird. Yeah, so man's like you are going to that and then the things like the group.
Crew.
It's not, it's really ignorant.
He wasn't rapping, he was programming feelings, gaining momentum that would eventually land him #1 on the charts again, awarding him the highest currency on the social media market, clout. It was from here Drake's career wouldn't evolve like a human, but rather update like software. Though out the booth, his personal side was much different. Everything revolved around one thing, validation.
Is Drake hip hop?
Drake is pop to me. In the sense, like, if I was in Target in Houston and I heard a Drake song, it feels like a lot of his music is compatible with shopping.
I fucked up, I'ma beat downtown, man. Full flow down, man. That's if I get caught, man. If your ass step, I'ma be downtown, man. 4th floor bow, man. That's if I get caught, man.
Though his career was handled like a programmer, his personal life would be just as socially awkward.
You know, I'm so sick of people saying that that I'm like lonely and emotional and like associating me with this like longing for a woman or
sad guy. Predictable selections of women previously belonging to a peer of his, who would somehow always eventually become an enemy, and a history of the emotional side of Drake not being able to move on. Take an example. One of the weirdest moments was trying to force a kiss on Rihanna in front of the world well after a breakup. Followed by multiple sub disses. Typically, Aubrey has an ongoing back and forth exchange with her two-time baby daddy, A$AP Rocky. This is after having a club fight with her ex, Chris Brown. This would go on throughout Drake's career, even dissing his ex, Serena Williams' husband once. Whatever case you want to call it, stream-wise, he was king, releasing a plethora of #1 Billboard hits as well as albums. Drake's music production, ripe with ghostwriters and trend farming, would seem unstoppable. He would even take lyrics thinking people couldn't Google.
We get freaky in the studio late night. That's why the beats that you hear coming real tight.
We turned up in the studio late night. That's why the songs that you hear coming real tight.
The motto was simple. A Drake feature will grant you international exposure beyond hip-hop in exchange for cultural validation. Unfortunately, there was one artist not willing to turn an eye when he felt the unspoken rules weren't being fulfilled. Meek Mill would have a meltdown from Perks and tweet out a dissatisfaction from Drake not tweeting his album. He wouldn't waste too long informing everyone Aubrey had a secret. The battle was on. Drake's software update would quickly produce 2 diss tracks, one using a formula mixing a club track with a diss, being a certified classic called Back to Back. Meek would pull a rabbit out of his hat, but it was almost like no one was watching, describing tales of Aubrey getting urinated on during movie previews.
How badly Meek fumbled in 2015, because he had the ghostwriter and peeing allegations against Drake and somehow still lost.
And employing a staff of ghostwriters. There will be one writer in particular that would take the biggest L of this battle, when Quentin Miller, a ghostwriter who helped Drake shape If You're Reading This, It's Too Late, would deny being a ghostwriter rather than just a collaborator. But it didn't matter. The streets and the internet had already judged him off of all of these reference tracks.
Text all over me, you know I'm 13, 17, Sprite, dirty like that.
And the fallout was brutal. He got jumped in the Nike store by Meek's folks.
They caught me, we was in LA, I was walking to the Nike store, and he approached me, and this was really my first time really talking with Meek, and basically told me like, you know, he didn't appreciate the letter that I dropped, and it made him seem like he was a liar or whatnot, and they stole off on me in the Nike store and ran. I shed blood in the Nike store on Wilshire.
Y'all ruined his life beefing with each other, and y'all are cool with each other. Like, when I see like Quentin Miller, I see myself in it. See how niggas treat other niggas they supposedly fear, but when they don't fear you, they treat you like shit. If Drake had feared Quentin, he would have squashed the beef with Quentin. He never talked to that nigga again.
Lost his footing in the industry and became another kill acquisition for the Cap of Canada. Drake would spend time touting his crown over Meek, even performing the track in Meek's own backyard, making his first battle a piece of cake.
Yeah, trigger fingers turn to Twitter fingers. Yeah, you getting bodied by a singing nigga. I'm not the type of nigga that'll type of niggas. And shout out all my boss bitches, white niggas.
Meek's half effort would not only give him one of rap's biggest L's, but he'd get banned from Toronto too. But soon, Champagne Cappy would find out he who wears the crown never gets a break, and his next rival wouldn't be as merciful as Meek. This is where Aubrey's career legacy would take a drastic turn, having scripts handed to him for entire songs. Was Aubrey making music or writing prompts?
Just to let the world know, I never got paid no 12 grand. For the record, I'm not signed to OVO, and all my real fans have been rocking with me from day one. Check the history.
Suddenly, folks came out the woodwork saying Drake owes them for writing. Like Mo G, creator of the Ginobili dance, would claim Drake left him with nothing.
But I just heard somebody in the spot playing Drake's out. I heard the nigga say, all pop mollies, my mollies pop niggas. What mollies you talking about, bro? Where these mollies at now?
Another day, another ghostwriter beat up. And what was his way of getting past the ghostwriter's claim? Let's just threaten to snitch.
And if I need to be the poster child that took all those hits for all my peers hiding behind me that do the same thing every album, that's fine, I'll do it. You know, because there's a lot of people that link up with other people and make records that you guys love, you know?
But every artist wasn't up for the thievery.
Boy, you wouldn't just believe what happened. I'm like, what? Did he just slap Drake?
I heard it was over the 0 to 100 beat.
Exactly.
That's what I heard.
Meanwhile, a label war was brewing between the Cash Money camp and Star Trek Entertainment. Though suffering an L, what Meek managed to do is remove a layer from the algorithmic formula Drake became. And Pusha T saw a chance to deal a fatal blow, finally moving from subliminals to a full-on diss track towards Drake.
The bigger question is how the Russians did it. It was written like Nas, but it came from Quentin.
The Canadian Cap's formulaic response would be an overdrive.
Don't push me when I'm in album mode. You're not even top 5 as far as your label talent goes. You send shots while I got a challenge though.
An ecosystem that was pushing out material year after year would treat this as a walkthrough. Besides, the world saw what he did with Meek.
He's dead already.
The most acute coding would not be able to stop what was to come next. Information will be leaked out that Drake would be the first rapper to have a Cap kid, a baby hidden from the algorithm just to be uncovered.
You are hiding a child, let that boy come home.
A child, Adonis, shown through DNA testing to be the child of Drake's, shared with a woman who had relations with A$AP Rocky, as well as other artists. The validation seeking would backfire. Not only that, but Pusha T would also pull out multiple vulnerabilities in the code structure, showing Drake pre-fame that wasn't the biggest fan of black people. The system was damaged, where the people began to see that maybe the artist wasn't exactly what was promoted. But the Cap code would survive from flooding the market and, of course, trend farming. Any artist, no matter how big, could become a victim, such as Beyoncé, who called on Drake to help her with a dance album she was working on. Aubrey would be honored and would show it by rushing his team together to put out his own dance album at a pace even R&B royalty couldn't contest. One software patch of Drake's would sound strikingly like a new up-and-comer from Florida.
Drake, I like my pudding tapioca.
Gaining momentum just to see the Cap of Canada using it to perfection.
This nigga Drake, you gotta listen to the
Demon just gotta. I gave my bro in advance. Love is just not in my plan. Not even taking a check.
I hear da in my den. I'm like, what the f?
I like bitch, you was your mess. Ayy, can't keep my dick in my pants.
The evidence was almost undeniable, but a part of a litmus of others with the same complaints. Maybe the most memorable would be from the greatest of all Cap. What was legendary would be in the midst of lies, the greatest of all Cap would have an admission that would turn out to be true.
We beat with Drake, the biggest rapper in the world.
Drake? Drake?
Come on, you taught Drake everything he knows.
Y'all didn't hear Drake on his first song? Tell me what's really going on. Drizzy, Drake back in this thing already. What's that? That's Soldier.
Shit.
I'm getting so cold. I ain't went this hard since I was 18.
I look so good. I ain't looked this good since I was 18.
Text me through the phone.
He copied my whole f***ing flow.
Oh,
word for word,
shit.
bar for bar.
Apologize if I say anything I don't mean.
Excuse me if I say a couple things that I don't mean.
Reference tracks, hidden babies, and a loss of respect wasn't the only problem the Canadian Cap would have to encounter.
Who's better, Lil Wayne or Drake?
Lil Wayne. My dad wrote most of it, so.
There was a trend beginning to rule, not only the attention of the culture, but it began to get sales as well. The drill culture, hailing from Chicago, would become highly popular, but it was an off-centered subgenre by far that would be less attentive of lyrics and more focused on the actual stories of murder behind them.
Members of Chicago's O-Block gang have been convicted in the 2020 murder of a rapper known as FBG Duck.
A trend quite difficult to break, but Six God would impressively figure it out. XXXTentacion, unfortunately, would give up the ghost, being an uncooperating victim of a carjacking.
20-year-old rapper XXXTentacion, whose real name is Jazé Onfroy, was shot and killed in Broward County today. Authorities say that Onfroy was leaving a motorsports store shortly before 4 o'clock when two men in a dark-colored SUV shot and killed him in what's an apparent robbery.
With rumors of Drake's involvement, but with little, if any, evidence to support, it would be the perfect opportunity for Aubrey to depict lyrics of involvement, closing the gap between him and drill rappers.
And maybe I should break that 10, do a 5, then if it gets live, do a 5 again. If he held his tongue on that live, he'd be alive again.
Randomly scrolling Twitter, everybody talking about this Drake shit and that Drake was on live stream and leaking songs, previewing songs from the album or whatever. And this what I heard.
Look, Supermax. For what I got going on, I'm too relaxed. The truth is not in your phone, you're too attached. It's how I really look in the streets like Google Maps. Supermax. For what I got going on, I'm too relaxed.
Well, for sure, I got a song titled that exact same shit that I made in 2019, like somewhere around there. But y'all tell me, like, am I tripping?
Just want that head. If I fuck you, gonna get too attached. I'm a veteran. If I sign, need a Supermax. Supermax. I need the Supermax. Had to get back on my shit because I got too relaxed. Won't turn my back even if it itch. Know what they do for scratch. I'm a veteran. If I sign, need the Supermax.
Drake's trend farming would become even more adaptive, noting that in past rap beefs, one of the biggest accolades would be to get a hold of the op's jewelry, which is comparable to a king losing his crown. Ask the capo of cap, Jim Jones.
You're not balling. It look better on camera. I'm seeing this right there. Look, put the game. It look better on camera. This shit garbage.
To attempt to heal his wounds from a brutal Pusha T defeat, he would proceed to go after Pusha's producer, Pharrell Williams' chains. But he wouldn't do it with a formal robbery and paid hit. He would do it through an auction, once even declaring that he melted the jewelry.
I melt down the chains that I bought from your boss. Give a fuck about all of that heritage shit.
The trend farming, of course, wouldn't just stick to music, but fashion as well, equipped with painted nails and pigtails. At one point, even his abs became robotic.
Look how he changed his walk. Do y'all see this?
As well as the walk.
Look, corny nigga walk. All right, and action. Real nigga walk. Real nigga walk, yeah.
People think you got a procedure done.
Really?
You
A
know?
procedure?
Yeah, an ab one.
Really?
Yeah, did you do that?
No.
Is that a thing?
I'm sure it is.
Why do you know that?
Because
Aubrey survived 2 attempts on his career. Both would fail to remove him from the top, but would show security vulnerabilities. One hacker, who would wait for years for his chance to crack the code, would finally get it.
Yeah, and nothing been the same since they dropped Control and tucked the sensitive rapper back in his pajama clothes.
Where is Drake at with Control?
It was cool for what it was, you know, and I'm just into making, like, my thing is, like, I like lasting power, you know, that's my thing. I want you to still be listening to this album in the summer or, you know, next year.
OVO systems would pick up on the vibes and make one attempt at peace. But Kendrick knew Drake was high on clout, but low on authenticity. He threw his first shot on a track called Like That, part of an album meant for Drake's destruction. For Drake, all current clients would disperse.
And I pray that God align me back up on my purpose and on my path. You know what I mean? I pray that my really didn't feel no way. And if he did, I got my chin out. Take your best shot, I'm gonna take that shit on the chin, boy. Do what you do. You know what I mean? Like,
he would then upload his infamous 20v1 pack, not just focusing on Kendrick, but all the others who participated in the data breach. He would base his moves and reactions on past data, hinged on the fact his opponent had a history of releasing music on a more slower developing human pace. That, along with a collection of past internet rumors connected to Kendrick's name, formulating a club track out of the whole thing.
Always knew I had to smoke out niggas.
Nah, that's my goat. That's my goat. I just want to let y'all know. That's my goat.
But this is after becoming the first mainstream artist to actually become AI himself, with a track called Tailor Made Freestyle. He would have Tupac and Snoop Dogg AI prototypes to recreate the present and the past. Even with known fence sitter Snoop Dogg providing authenticity.
They did what? When? How? Are you sure?
Luckily, the Shakur family would call cap on that. What the 20v1 patch wouldn't bank on is the hacker had malware.
No fucking way. No fucking way.
A literal mole previously implanted in the Canadian Cap's operating system. Throughout the battle, the entire internet would rush to discover the identity, one which hasn't been revealed even to this day.
I think Drake knew that these things were stolen.
Kendrick would use this information to not only counter each OVO code execution, but he would do it in epic time, with the final dagger being 2 classic diss tracks released in less than a 24-hour period.
And he dropped a little preview snippet on Instagram, and you're telling me that Kendrick dropped again? Are y'all trolling me? Kendrick did not drop, bro.
He dropped again?
Not again, bro.
After Meek the Grams?
What is going on?
This is getting crazy, bro.
This man be popping up at all time of hour.
The OVO code was finally cracked. Kendrick would use this moment to expose OVO's entire algorithm to the world, from the trend farming, killer acquisitions, even down to these onstage kisses.
I'm not gonna have me getting carried away again. I get in trouble for shit like this. How old are you?
Trying to strike a chord
because it's probably
A minor.
He held that too. That's crazy.
Him dragging out A minor in the same way that Drake just dragged out that one dude's name.
And Drake said free.
This would also expose the network error, Baka.
Where I come from, like, that shit can happen. Like, you can't just call out a man and not have paperwork to back.
The tracks would take over Spotify accounts all over the world, including Canada. The Trojan name that would disarm the system would be called Not Like Us.
They not like us.
They not like us.
They not like us. They not like us.
They not like us.
Becoming a constant thorn in the pop star's side. Not only his, but everyone a part of the system. No one was safe, not even Drake.
This is the rapper Drake right there. This is his house in Toronto. There was a shooting that happened earlier outside Drake's Toronto home.
Whose residence was shot up, leaving one wounded.
Confirmed the injured person is a member of Drake's security team. Now, police have yet to say if they believe the shooting is related to the Kendrick Lamar feud.
Remnants of a real beef allegedly tied to his industry-turned-street beef with Weeknd's camp. It would be time for Drake to show his newly acquired drill rapper side, but instead, he would choose to move to Houston, where his accent began to switch.
Gone country. Yeah, we done gone country on y'all, boys. Man, we said we was gonna do it for a lot of years, and we doing it today. The sale is made.
Tell me how they say 3 hours in Texas.
3 hours.
Then Houston suddenly had noticeable differences in their radio play.
Drake bans Kendrick Lamar is not like us, either directly or indirectly. Yeah, they're saying that there's been some DJs in Houston, Texas, that were asked not to play the record.
Yeah, some got in trouble for it already.
Drake's new patch would shift the #1 stream artist propaganda into his biggest Cap era.
I believe there's an actual case out on that happened in Vegas where he assaulted a female.
That they swept under the rug too.
Employing multiple Cap lieutenants who would attempt to control the narrative, but it would have no effect.
False maneuvers.
Excuse me on my streamer.
It's definitely a tie-in. It's definitely a tie-in.
What y'all LA thought this was, man? I keep telling y'all, with all due respect, Kendrick, y'all call him the boogeyman, but he's not Santa Claus, all right? He can't give you stimulus packages. Nobody cares about y'all if y'all collaborate with Kendrick.
He don't give a fuck about the culture anymore because he sees what the culture tried to do to him.
Their biggest argument was to pivot to a laughable theory that the main reason Not Like Us is successful is because of bots.
Out of respect, but the most recent song I did do all the bots for, well, most of it and the marketing was Not Like Us.
He would replace cultural acceptance with bot activity, declaring that this uproar could not possibly be from relations, but rather bots and algorithm manipulation, opening up a can of worms that would lead the world down a rabbit hole. One gloomy evening, an announcement was made that Kendrick Lamar would be headlining the Super Bowl. Drake had a serious problem. It's one thing to have a #1 Billboard hit, an album released to your demise, but it's a whole nother level to have a diss song performed at the Super Bowl. Why, Jayceon would never.
If they were to say your game, we want you to have a mean 56 seconds. What record you would have chose?
Probably 300 bars.
Nah, you can't do 300 bars.
Cash Money was on it. First to bat will be Weezy himself, who would do nothing less than cry at the situation.
That hurt. Hurt a lot. You know what I'm talking about? It hurt a whole lot. I blame myself for not being mentally prepared for a letdown.
Meanwhile, Nicki would add one of her more frequent coke rants. While both did little to change the situation, the cat from the Six had something in mind that would not only shed more light to the battle, but also try to change hip-hop forever. First, he would release a collab album with Party Next Door that would do numbers, but certainly not the usual. But the formula's main deficiency is authenticity, and Drake's next move will possibly be the worst cultural reaction you can have after losing a battle. He will begin to lash out at anyone seen connected to the song.
If you ever put a DeRozan banner up, I'll go up there and pull it down myself. That's the answer to your question.
Hey, look, we're going to take a break. You're going to stay with us. I bet you are. The effort, the energy.
Yo, LeBron, you and Drake used to go on two-mans, okay?
Then Drake started appearing on just white streamers' platform.
I'm Drake. This is XQC, real streaming legend.
Talking like he survived a shootout rather than a battle. But wait, well, actually, he was.
I'm here, as you can see, fully intact. Mind, body, and soul, in case you were wondering. Right?
Mind, body, and soul.
Mind, body, and soul. You need facts to take me out. Fairy tales won't do it.
But whatever the case, after Not Like Us took over the summer of 2024, Drake filed a defamation suit against his own label, Universal Music Group, accusing them of boosting a record that painted him as a certified PDF.
The rap war between Drake and Universal Music Group is escalating tonight in a new amended legal complaint.
He claimed UMG not only let the track fly, but supercharged it, lifting copyright restrictions, pumping bots, and greenlighting promotion that sent the song and his reputation into the dirt.
The filing says UMG made significant financial investments and leveraged its professional connections for, quote, massive amplification of a defamatory claim by Kendrick Lamar.
The lawsuit even tied the track's cover, an aerial shot of Drake's Toronto mansion marked like a predator map. A day never forgotten in hip-hop, the culture wouldn't be divided on how demeaning such a move could be just after losing a battle.
This is bitch made right here. Drake's attorneys accuse UMG of violating the Racketeering Influence in Corrupt Organizations Act.
I don't think it's the same the way people look at Drake. Like, I think it
people or the industry?
Both.
Something many greats have experienced before. Not surprisingly, Drake's cat lieutenants would not cower, but turn up even more.
Drake is suing because Universal has been trying to extort him for the last decade. Because whenever he wants to leave, they back somebody to come out, attack him, make a diss track about him, slander him.
I like Kendrick's music. I like Drake's music. I also think both of them have used bots via UMG, whether they knew it or not.
The lawsuit would do little to stop the traction the song as well as Kendrick had made.
The Grammy goes to Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar.
Going on to win 5 Grammys. But the biggest question became if he would have the nerve to perform the song on the biggest stage in the world, the Super Bowl. Which he did, bringing some friends along with him.
No, they not like us. No, they not like us. They not like us. No, they not like us. No, they not like us.
He would eventually make his way to Drake's own Toronto, where he would perform the song multiple times upon the crowd's request. Only thing Drake and his cronies could do is cap about a check-in.
So, Adrian, so you think Kendrick, I will quit rapping if Kendrick Lamar goes to New York without 20 police officers. Lock off every door in the Noble Hotel. Man, even cut everything off. Man bought everything. He's a bitch.
And for months, Aubrey had to watch what seemed like the world celebrating. Meanwhile, Drake's next update would be more trend farming. Desperate for a reset, Drake rolled out Iceman, a project dropped in episodes, marketed like a streaming series, When streaming, you can't control all of the outcomes.
So what then? So what then, big dog? Don't look away now.
Someone in his own city made him angry enough to go Caribbean on him.
Don't look away now. Don't look away now. Don't get shy now. We'll fold that up right now.
The rollout glitched. The Pinocchio theme felt forced, and even his most loyal fans started questioning the direction.
I really hope most of the tracks that we just heard aren't on Iceman.
Yo, I can't fake it. I can't fake it. That was ass.
In damage control mode, Drake leaned on emotional Cap, crying on stage, declaring UK rappers more lyrical than Americans.
All my love for London rappers, the best lyricists in the world, mark my words. Oh, I don't care what nobody says, nobody can out-rap London. Nobody. No disrespect to America.
By October 2025, the final update arrived. A federal judge dismissed his defamation case.
A New York judge has tossed out Drake's defamation lawsuit against Universal Music Group, stemming from Kendrick Lamar's diss track, Not Like Us.
Kendrick's malware had won. Drake's credibility file deleted. Drake's team would release a statement, but what else could be said? There would be no way for even his biggest stands not to testify how big of a stain this would put on the Six God's career.
Drake just took probably the most embarrassing L I've ever witnessed on the internet.
Some people are haters and the K-bots, they're as dumb as could be. I've never liked this lawsuit from the get-go. I always told y'all. Some of the Drake fans even said it's because, I'm protecting UMG. I always just thought the lawsuit wasn't cool.
Kendrick's malware was exceptional due to the fact it's forcing your boy to have to do something he hasn't coded before, a new trend. Most of the snippets he has released has sounded like the same old Drake with the same old ChatGPT flow.
Why the f this shit keep glitching? George, is the radio working good? Right. We'll turn it up again.
There'll be a day when I fall. Everybody falls. There'll be a day when Drake is no longer interesting. Maybe the stage I'm at in my life nobody can relate to, or maybe, the sound and music changes and I'm irrelevant.
Speaking on AI, recently the industry has been tampering with the created bona fide AI artist, with the first being released alongside producer Timberland. It looks like that's where everything's going with websites. You can type in lyrics, moods, genres, and have instrumentals or entire songs created. Eventually, the king of rap will be AI, but it would not happen without using Aubrey Graham as a template on what to do and what not to do when running the industry through an algorithm, making him hip-hop's first coded rapper, the Cap of Canada, Drake. If you want to watch this unfiltered and raw, make sure to subscribe to my Patreon. Also, check out my other Cap stories like The Game and Soulja Boy, the greatest of all Cap. Well, anyways, you know how we like to end our videos over here at Moxie Approved, right? With that water. I'll see you here next time on Moxie Approved. Add me on X, IG, and TikTok.